We've been waiting for this day as AFL fans for an extremely long time. After around about 11 to 12 years of waiting, it is starting to look like the Gold Coast Suns are emerging as a legitimate threat. Now, straight away, I want to get to the game, and first of all, when it comes to general predictions for this game, it was just brutal. And everyone I talked to was just having the hardest time in this game. It's Geelong had a lot of outs, but the Suns were coming off a 5-day break. It was in Darwin, but they were coming off a 5-day break. Also had played 2 straight games in Darwin, which was a bit of a worry going into this. So it was a bit of a worry for many people who go into this game, the 5-day break factor and how much time they would have spent in Darwin, even with Geelong's outs. But the Suns throughout this game just swept that under the rug and put it to bed so quickly. They were, well, not so quickly, it took them around about a quarter, but they were so impressive. I backflipped, I ultimately ended up tipping the Suns, and I was not confident in the tip at all. Yet when I started watching the broadcast, something about this team felt different, which was big. Because I think normally during this club's history, they've lost games like this. A big game against a big club where they can assert themselves, they normally lose it. Just 2 weeks ago, they had a massive chance to finally win a QQ clash against Brisbane and put in their worst performance of the year. Same old Suns. This wasn't same old Suns. This was a completely different team we saw. First quarter was really even though. The Suns got off a good start, but the Cats were able to stay with them for a little bit from Tyson Stengel's incredible work. Herc and Jack Bowes put in a few, which was nice. But you could just tell even through that the Suns were just on a different pace, and that they were a little bit more conditioned to the Darwin heat, which I will talk about a little bit later. So yeah. And that showed in the second half as they just stormed away. When it comes to the three players on the ground I always talk about, they won every one. They won the forward battle. Ben King, he was having such a phenomenal year. Well, some people talk about Max King, not enough about Ben King. He's having a phenomenal year. He's now leading the Coleman. Bailey Humphrey kicked 5 as well. Their defenders played such an amazing game, restricting many of the Cats' dangerous goal scorers, like Ollie Henry. He only kicked 1 or 2. Tyson Stengel was kept quiet after the first quarter. Outside, the goal scorers you worry about when you're without Hawkes and Cameron, they kept quiet. And then the midfield, we knew this is the area that the Suns were going to dominate in, and by God, they did. Even without Jared Whitson, they played just so amazing throughout, and overall it was just a scintillating performance. Another thing I noted in the game, which I loved so much, was that it felt like every time Geelong kicked a goal, the Suns answered back. It was a form of intensity and a form of pace that we've never seen from the Suns before, and just massive credit to Damien Hardwick for putting this together and playing it out in full force. Another thing that's big about this game is the Darwin advantage. It was an incredible start to the Sir Doug Nicholls Indigenous round. Playing this game in Darwin, where all the Indigenous people, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders people, go and convene all the time. But the Suns have such an advantage in this zone because playing in Queensland, they're used to the heat, and you can tell. They've been begging to make some place a fortress for a long time, and they finally have done it with TIO Traeger Stadium in Darwin. They should be asked for 5-6 games there, because I don't think there's any team in the competition that could beat them there at the moment. This game proved it. I know Geelong were without their major players, but this game really proved it, and they they eliminated 5-day break theory whilst doing it as well, so just insane credit to them. From an AFL point of view, like watching this team throughout the years, I hope this keeps up. The AFL needs this team to start playing finals, I think, to start really emerging as a team to be afraid of and to build a really steady supporter base now. Like, they don't have to go into the social media path like the Giants have, but like they can maybe like make their force known by being almost like one or two or three lines, just being absolutely dominant and so scary to play against. Overall, quick minute on Geelong. I made a few videos on them this year when they were going really well, but like this is a real tough rough patch they've gone on. Started by the Demons. Welcome, people. And yeah, this is just been so rough for them. Like, they lose a game against Port Adelaide, which they rarely lose at GMHBA Stadium. Then they lose this by the biggest margin they've lost to. They've lost by a team since 1994 against Melbourne. So yeah, it's a little bit worrying. Like, I know Hawkins and Cameron were out, but like the full line of Geelong is a bit worrying, and they definitely aren't in the like piping hot form they were at the beginning of the season. I still think they'll be fine, but like it is a bit worrying, and you would be worried if you're a Pat supporter about how the future looked without Hawkins and Cameron last night, because the Suns ran off the ground. I feel like they just need like a big win against UOS next week might be exactly what they need to get this going again, but it's not looking good for Geelong. It's the right time to get Geelong at the moment, well and truly. As for the team's next game, as I mentioned, Geelong's got Giants at GMHBA Stadium, which is a massive game for them to get back on track, and the Suns play against Carlton at Marvel Stadium, which is another test for them and probably will be harder considering it's not in Darwin. It's just another test that they should be ready for.